at infancy. It's very young. There are a lot of things that come together to really say we have an ecosystem. So if you look at successful ecosystems all over the world, there are things around funding. And I think the previous panel talked a lot about the appetite for risk. There is skills, and then there's mentorship, right? And these three things are very, very critical. There are different players that have to be active in the space for you to say you actually have an ecosystem. There's government, there's public sector, there's the private sector, there's education institutions. And each of these institutions, if you look at developed ecosystems, have a role to play in funding, in skills, and in mentorship. We're not there yet. Yeah. We're not where we ought to be or where we could be. And I think this is spread across very many sectors of Nigeria. Definitely. But to say that there is no tech ecosystem, I disagree. And I think, maybe Emeka will correct me, I think the paraphrasing of that article wasn't correct. So this may be an opportunity to set the record straight. Okay,
Emeka, correct him.
Okay, I'm glad to be in Techpoint inspired. My name is Emeka Okoye. I didn't want to create any controversy about ecosystem. I don't think we should actually have a problem with what I said. The truth of the matter is that the tech ecosystem, because one of the challenges we have, I think people are conflating the terms technology and startup or entrepreneurship. They don't mean the same thing. So for technology, we need to understand what technology is all about. So it's all about scientific knowledge being used into product. It's technology. And how do we start to get that scientific knowledge? It's from the university. So the university has to be the base for the resources that will create technology. Unfortunately, we don't have them in Nigeria. Now, the major elements of a technology ecosystem is usually university, the research centers, the big technology companies, the government, then we have the entrepreneurs. And there, we can talk about the venture capitalists who will bring money into the system. So unfortunately, where we are at this point in time, the government, who is supposed to play a very key part, have not even started to understand what technology is. If you check all the top technology countries in the world, and including those with the top startup countries, you find out that the government actually came out to define the aspiration of the nation. Your educational policies are supposed to focus on the aspiration of the nation. Now, let me take you to something like India. India today is a top technology country, top 10. But what happened in India today didn't start now. It started like in 1951 during President Nehru's time. That's when the Indians started the Indian Institute of Technology, IITs. It's the IITs who are the bedrock of the Indian technology revolution. Instituted a committee of 22 to look at how India could play in the technology space. I can take you to Brazil. The Brazil's case was Campina, the University of Campina. They were the ones that set out to say they are focused on technology. And they built human resources on technology, physics, engineering, and so on. Even if you take it to Israel, it's the same thing on Canada. Canada actually set out the agenda to play in the technology space. So first thing first, unfortunately, in Nigeria, the government have not defined that aspiration. So we cannot come out to say we have an ecosystem. Because the thing is, right now in the world today, we're about to enter the 4th industrial revolution. A revolution is backed by data and artificial intelligence. It's going to disrupt all facets of our lives. It's already starting. I mean, this is a very serious issue. Most governments in the world right now, today, are setting up panels to understand the implication of this phenomenon. Nigeria is not there. Understand? So we really need to, come out to say, to know exactly how the technology, software, I have to, it's made the margin.
Coming to Nigeria because of work that has been done by people like CC Hub, work that has been done by a lot of, maybe some of the multinational companies that you have in the country. And if we say we are 5 years into that development, then I think we should, as much as we realize how much work we have to do, I think we need to give ourselves a pat in the back. I think we have to do as much as we can do without government. We need to solicit for government. We need to do policy. We need to be on the table. We've had National Information Technology Development Plans. We've had agencies. All of these things are going through some sort of evolution. So yes, there is some participation. Yes, you can draw the bar and say we're down below. But I think we need to acknowledge the amount of work we're doing internally, and we need to support it. So yes, our communities are going stronger. Yeah. I can talk a bit about our community because that's actually my specialty right now over the last 1 year at Google. Okay. So the communities are growing much stronger than they have ever been. And it's a trajectory. We're going up. So everything we can do to keep that trajectory going up, and for other players in the ecosystem to realize that if it's a tripod where there's a community, there is government, there is education, and one other arm or one leg is getting stronger than the other, I think it's a wake-up call for the other legs. Not for us to generally or unknowingly sort of destroy what we are building.
Okay, Adewale, you have some thoughts?
So, I mean, this is a subject I always run away from, but I think my team and I, we've been working on some things because we love data a lot. Everything we use at Techpoint is always data-based. And we discovered most of our articles now, we work with primary data. We are launching a product today, which is actually like a base, which is like Crunchbase, you understand? And we've been working on it for over a year. First thing we discovered is this market, we are not including the people we're supposed to include. There's a reason why Techpoint inspired. We are inviting people on. We did BRT buses for one reason.
Sorry, Adewale, I would like to clarify the people you want to include.
Okay. So let me just, I'm actually breaking it down to that place. Okay. The first thing is we need to bring everybody in, even the consumer. You understand? These people need to understand what tech is. As far as some people are concerned, the only thing they use online is actually Facebook. They don't know there are developers in Nigeria. You understand? I've had the opportunity to be with some people that actually can contribute. We need money. Trust me. And I've had the opportunity to talk to some billionaires in Nigeria. But the only thing, they don't understand this market. They were shocked when Mark Zuckerberg came to this market. Everybody was like, okay, what's going on? And this guy, Google, Facebook, they are investing in this market. But all this foreign investment we are getting can't help us. Our goal at Techpoint is before second quarter of next year, we want to get minimum of 30 startups to raise it. These are not just startups these are not just startups that are just doing startup. They are core tech startup, research based and everything. And another thing, looking at the education, because education is actually important. We are starting, these are a platform that we are launching. There's school there. We are working with schools. We want to field developers that are working on real projects. You understand? They are working on deployable projects that are on market. We want to get them to lecture in school. Yesterday, I was having a conversation with Mommy Cecilia. You understand? At school, at university, we've gone there for entrepreneurship training before, but we want to get real entrepreneurs on the street to go and train people. Because we need these students. They are powerhouses. For some years ago, I knew some OAU students, you understand? But they were just 100-level students then. When my mentor, which I will talk about later, we were all together. But these guys are currently in the US. You understand? Working on the AI, artificial intelligence, all these things, because they are brilliant guys and they are looking for knowledge, but the school is not supporting them. We are not looking at government, but we want to work with the private universities that are interested. They don't understand what it is, but they are interested in building the next generation of, what they call it, of the technologists. And that's what we're trying to do. So we have to build this together. to the extent that we have to even build our investor, our angel investor, because a lot of people are going with the title of angel investors and they're not investing anything. But there's just people that actually have money, but they don't understand this market. They want to be part of it. I know some people that can just say, this is 30 million naira. Just go and waste it. Test it on your idea. But they don't understand that thing. And I and my team, we've taken this as a challenge, and we are facing it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. So while we have agreed that we are still building the ecosystem, I know Emeka wants to say something, but okay, if you can make it within a minute.
No, I need to. It's not so much about whether we are building an ecosystem. We really need to know what the building blocks are. I just need us to really think about what I'm about to say next. Since technology came into Nigeria, let's say 1990 till date, poverty population has increased. The data is there. So the question is, what is mobile and technology doing for us? Now, it goes back to what I'm saying, that the bedrock for our technology stride is to the university system. And we really need a situation where government will now increase public funding. It's sad that most of the disruptive technologies we are consuming or about to consume came from public funding of other countries. We have a lot of problems, and none of our problems have been fixed. Light. It's strange that the government has not funded a research on improving electricity.
I'm sorry to cut you, Emeka, but we have to wrap up really quick, and I want us to get down to the point of mentorship. Okay, so I know you're really big on mentoring people, and you once said this, that mentoring is hard, especially when the mentee is not willing to learn, not curious, impatient, or not humble. So, Adewale, please talk to me about what you feel about mentorship. I know that you've been mentored and you mentor some people and you're always talking about some characteristics.
Okay, so I'm a mentee and I will stay on that. I'm not a mentor. I don't think I have the capacity to mentor anyone. But let me just tell you a story. I mean, like some years ago, I was a security guard in this Lekki. I had no roof over my head. You understand? And we're just sleeping in Paco House, if you know what it is. When it rained like this, we are sleeping on water. So, but there was a time I met someone. You understand? He just came from the US and he's a research scientist. I was a security guard. He's a research scientist. The gap was very big. But he was talking to some people and he told them that they'd send me a mail. And I went to meet him. I didn't have this knowledge and stuff. So I sent the mail. So over time, you understand, I've worked with this guy, and he's been my mentor. I submitted to him. I still submit to him. And fast forward to some years, I mean, just to when maybe late last year, early this year, and when you're seeing a lot of progress. Because one thing people don't know about mentors and mentees is someone you must be ready to submit yourself to. And people are just saying, a lot of people, when I go outside, people are telling me, oh, Wale, I'm proud of you. Everybody is giving me thumb up. I'm proud of you. And I don't know, maybe that was getting to my head. And the guy just sent me a mail one day. He said, Wale, what's your problem? You understand? He talked to me like I felt like nothing. But that day I had to sit back. For 3 months, we both troubleshoot me just to look at that. And there was something I came up with that a mentor is someone that can chastise you when everybody is singing your praises, and the one that can actually, that can sing your praise and see something in you when you feel like nothing. I was actually, the company Techpoint was actually sinking, I think 2015, and he came in and he told me, Wale, I'm investing in your company. And he gave me some money. So because sometimes you actually need the money more than just the advice. I know a lot of people on... So the money was small, but he rescued us up to today. Okay. And it's still there for me. So there are some people you talk to and all they say, oh, I will take 10% of your company and I'll be giving you advice. And both of you actually die together. That's just, and I see a lot of people these days, they say, be my mentor. And when they come to your inbox, they say, hi. When you decided to say hello, they will say, how are you doing? Why do you need to know how I'm doing? So you just go straight to the point. I have a lot of people. I mean, he mentors me. When I have issues, I try to talk to people. This is what I'm going through. And another thing again, which is...
Sorry, Wale will not be able to take your other point. So, Emeka...
Okay, I think Wale has said...
I want to ask you a specific question.
Okay.
So do you think there are a lot of big heads in Yabacon Valley, and the reason why they fail is because they don't submit? I'm sorry to use that word, but I know everybody uses it. The Yabacon Valley. So you think people are not willing to submit, or they're not humble enough to listen to advice is why they fail?
Well, let me put it, the pastor mentioned something about being mentally lazy. It's a very big problem. We lack intellectual curiosity. Is a major thing. So people are not interested to learn. And you have to have that urge to learn. Then you now seek those who have those knowledge. And then you need to submit yourself to. There has to be that element of trust. There's a habit we have now that is really bad. It's like we argue with everyone, including people who are your seniors, and even insult them. Learning does not happen in such environment. Even when your mentors are not perfect, they make mistakes, but it's not for you to show it at that moment. It's for your action to prove that you had a superior idea, because iron has to sharpen iron. So me as a mentor, I've mentored some people I've learned from, and it encourages me to give them more. But if you put it up to my face, I'm not encouraged. So the attitude matters in that moment of mentorship. And there has to be trust from the mentee. And this is why I advise mentee, if you don't trust the guy, don't go and ask for mentorship from him.
Please get your questions ready. We'll be taking them now. Okay, so Anidi, talk to me about your experience with mentors. And if you have mentored anybody, what have you shared with them?
You want to expose me? Okay, so I think I've been mentored by 2 or 3 people that probably don't even know they're mentoring me. If you follow people diligently, like it's not. I think if people come out and just say, "Oh, I want to be can you mentor me?" I think that's actually the wrong approach to doing this. If you're a very good mentee, it is the mentor that will come and look for you. If you are 12 years old and you're playing football in the Barcelona Academy and you're so good, there's no coach in any football club across the world that won't want to sign you as Lionel Messi. So it is the mentee's job to position himself for mentoring. There are people right now that I probably started mentoring about a week or 2 ago. I have been dying to be their mentor, because everybody wants to be associated with success. People come to me and ask me questions, oftentimes because I work at Google, and the way I answer them is by Googling their question and giving them what Google gave me.
Wow.
I'm serious. How do I start a business? How do I receive payments? What are the payment options for my startup? And I Google Flutterwave, Paystack, InterSwitch, and then I just copy and I paste. Because I want peace of mind. Because if you don't respond to them, you're either arrogant or you're unapproachable or you're a bad mentor. So I think mentoring for me, and I've come to appreciate mentoring over the last 2 years more than anything else, because over the last 2 years I've had the opportunity to attempt to run a business and fail. And I've had the opportunity to work at Google, where we have a program called Launchpad, which is focused completely on mentorship. In fact, our startup offering program has moved away from free credits of advertising, free Google Cloud credit, strictly to a virtual mentorship platform. So we organize events where we bring people together, and all we give is mentorship, technical, business, product strategy, and growth. So I think mentorship is very critical, very critical. You should look for a mentor. If you are too big to be mentored, well, that's up to you. And then finally, you should prepare yourself, you should set yourself up such that it's not even you that is looking for a mentor. It's a mentor that is looking for you.
Yeah, okay. So we don't have space for questions. I hope.
All right, we'll take questions
Okay.
because we're exactly 20 minutes late, and that's not too good. Please, we want to take about 2-3 questions, please. 2-3 questions for mentees. 2-3 questions, if you can take those questions. Thank you so much. Please, if you participated in the last panel session, please don't come out, please. Huh? And thank you guys so much. Really appreciate each and every one of you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Wally said something about taking on board 30 new startups that are serious in tackling real-life problems. I am the founder of hospitals.ng, and basically we created like an app or web application that helps people access healthcare easier. But we're struggling right now. Basically, we have a team of like programmers, and I'm a digital marketer. But we're struggling right now getting hospitals on board, because when we send out our newsletters and emails offering our services, these hospitals don't check their emails. So we need a bit of funding to deploy out field marketers to actually physically go to the doctors and the hospitals to say, hey, join our platform, because we believe that...
Is that a question?
Yeah, no, we want to know how he can take us on board.
Okay, that's the question, all right? Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ifuna. I work with Flutterwave. It's not a question. It's like it's a joiner to what Emeka has been saying about the failure of the Nigerian academic system. I know that it's already poor. Everybody knows that.
Can you do it in 30 seconds, please?
Okay, everybody knows that. But there is a platform called Coursera where if you wanted to learn anything, it's free and you could learn that. So that would, while we wait for the government to help us, is somewhere that we can go to get knowledge if we want it.
Thank you so much for that. All right, next question.
Good afternoon. My name is Eddie Diong. And I think this issue of mentorship is really a very important topic, because there are a lot of youths that don't have mentors. They want mentors. And I really like what Mr. Nedi said about making yourself good enough to be mentored. I agree 100%. But sometimes you don't have access to these mentors. And then you want them to listen to what you have to say when you have a potential that you want to mentor you. What is the best? I know articulating is also important, articulating right, but some people don't just know how to articulate. So what is the best way to get people to listen to what you have to say? I think I want to learn, actually.
Okay, great. The last question.
Yeah, good morning. My question is going to Mr. Dewale Yusuf. I follow you on LinkedIn, and I have been making comments on your posts recently. I observed that Techpoint.ng seem to profile Lagos-based startups, and I wonder why. Because from the records, Joberman is from Ife-Kon Valley. Sonwo is a product of Ile-Ife, and other startups. There are amazing startups that are not in Lagos, but it
What's
seems
your question, sir?
Why are they always pitching only Lagos-based startups?
Okay, thanks for that perception. Because it's a perception.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she mentioned about Coursera. I need to emphasize on something. This ecosystem thing is not about knowledge of technology or... I just said, we need to up our research, solve our problems, who would have control of the technology used in solving our problems, and then teach the world how to use that technology. We are not there. Coursera can't help us. The truth of the matter is that answers to our problems are not outside these borders. They are here. We have people who can code, so they understand the language of machines. They are here. We have people who have domain knowledge in all areas, all our problem areas. They are all here. We have people who have money. There are plenty Range Rovers all around the place. All we need to do is just articulate a solution, and these people will fund. We don't need to go to Silicon Valley. We don't. Our answers are not there. Our answers are here. So we just need to focus on solving problems. People will pay for those products or services. And we don't need to go to Coursera or this. We can do it Unilag, Nsuka, Babcock, wherever. But we need to fortify this institution to reflect our aspiration. The most important thing is aspiration. Thank you.
So the lady who asked about being given the opportunity to speak to mentors, I think the first thing you have done by being here and stepping up to ask your question is the right thing to do. You probably have friends, relatives, classmates who have seen this event and have decided not to be here. So being a member of the community is actually the first step in the right direction. The more you come out to events like this and have access to people, meet them, stop them on the way in, on the way out, collect their email addresses, reach out to them, that's the first step you're taking. So I would say showing that aspiration, that hunger for what you want, go to the event, reach out to people. If they give you their email or their Instagram or Twitter handle, tweet at them, ask, and encourage people who have this same desire to be mentored or to reach out, to be part of the community, turn up at events, reach out to people, send cold emails. Some will work, some won't. And then if you get a small percentage of people actually responding to you, I think that's good enough for you to actually start breaking the barrier of finding your first mentor.
So, thank you. Let me start with the mentor. I mean, if you notice the platform you register from, we match you guys with mentors. We are working on that. We are going to, the event is not ending there. We discovered a lot of people need mentors. And when we analyze the data, we discovered there are a lot of mentorship. So we're working on that. We'll send you update. The second one, which profiling startups in Lagos alone. Last year, we went to the north, and we spent 2 weeks on the north. You understand? Hosting event. We call it Techpoint. This year, we are going to the southeast again. And when you go to Techpoint, there's pitch your startup. Every startup, any startup from any part of Nigeria, we write about them once you fill that document. So it's not like it's legal biased. But one thing you should know, all these things are resources based as well. You understand? We tried to have a reporter in Abuja, a correspondent. We tried it in Kenya. We have a correspondent in Nairobi. We ran that for a while, but once the dollar actually went up, we had to stop that. But you should know there are a lot of things that goes into this as well. Be part of the online community, and we can showcase your startup. So the last one, which is about what we think we are taking startups on. We are not taking them on. Let me explain this for you. Rufai, just let me explain this. We are planning something which we will announce after Inspire, not today. We discovered this gap. You understand? A lot of startup. We want to create we are organizing an event in January. And currently I'm knocking people's door one by one. Do you know the people I'm knocking their door? The people that have your money in their pocket in Nigeria. Because our problem can only be addressed by Nigerians. We need to, seed investment is with people here. And that's what we have. I have a long list. I'm going to their door one by one. So we are bringing lawyers together because, I have a law firm that I school them on some stuff when it's legal stuff. They don't understand this market. So we are bringing the law firm, we are bringing accountants, we are bringing everybody together. And we want to make sure at least 5 startups that get to the final, they are going to be investable because we want people to raise Series A, not just raise money and solve your immediate problem or just go and buy a car. You understand? We want you to contribute because your failure is our failure. We are all in this together. Until we understand that and we work together, we won't move forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Anyeji, Emeka, and Wale. It's been an interesting discussion.
Let's put a